One of the most distressing symptoms of having anxiety or having a panic attack is the kind of thoughts we get, the kind of what if thoughts which will be running through our head, and they're continuous, and it's like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And what I want you to do is, whenever you get into this state, and of course this requires you to be able to identify that you are anxious. So you look at your symptoms, you start to realize, I think I'm getting anxious. I've started to have a lot of thoughts. Most of our anxiety thoughts are about the future. They're going to be what if. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if something happens to me? What if something happens to somebody else? And so on. So every time you have a thought that is a what if thought, I want you to replace what if with what is. What is a way of bringing ourselves back to the present time. Because when we say what is, we can start to check in with ourselves, like, what is right now? What is right now is that I'm safe. I am alive. I am at peace. I am not under any threat. And every time you get that what if, you say what is. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And what it reminds you of is to come back to the present. Because we have to remember that a lot of our anxiety is caused by worrying about the future, about something that hasn't happened. And we spend a lot of time in this vicious cycle of what if that happens and what if this happens. And of course, when we get anxious, the more anxious we get, the more we start to generate all of those hormones that cause all the horrible symptoms, like the nausea and the feeling sick and not feeling hungry and feeling disconnected. All of those symptoms come from the hormones that are produced because we now are in a state of fight and flight. We're in a state of fear. We're now afraid. Our body doesn't know that we're not actually under any threat. It thinks that we're under threat, so it produces this hormone. This is all down to what we are thinking, and what we are thinking will generate the way we feel, and the way we feel will manifest into symptoms. So every time you get a what if something happens, I want you to say what is, and keep repeating what is. And what is, ask yourself that question and say, what is right now? What is my situation right now? Where am I right now? What is going on right now? And you see, when you realize that right now you are safe, that's going to ease a bit of the anxiety. And as your anxiety starts to ease, your panic will ease. As your panic starts to ease, the hormone level will start to drop down, and a lot of your other symptoms will start to slow down as well. I hope that helps.